This segment is brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
We've been studying the porcine epidemic diarrhea virus for almost 2 years right now. PED is one of the few viruses that's been known to use feed or feed ingredients as a vehicle for transmission, whether within barns or across barns or through a feed mill. And so the importance of feed biosecurity and feed mill biosecurity is of extreme importance for us. And so we've conducted a series of studies at K-State, all of them funded by the National Pork Boards. The first study that we did, we determined the minimum infectious dose of PED that can be carried in a feed matrix. Now it's important to know the amount of PED that can be carried within a feed and still make pigs sick. And the really shocking finding from that study was that 1 gram of feces from an infected or PED-infected pig was enough to infect 500 tons of manufactured feed and then be able to make any pig that consumed that feed sick. And so that's a really small amount of fecal material that can infect feed. After that, we've conducted a couple studies looking at the pellet mill to be able to reduce or mitigate PED risk. And we've found that as long as we're able to pellet feed at least 130 degrees, we can minimize the risk of PED transfer or minimize the risk of PED infectivity in the pigs. And that's really important because pellet mill is a common piece of equipment found in a lot of different feed mills, and specifically commercial feed mills. And so by being able to use pelleting technology, they can quickly implement a mitigation strategy to help minimize, again, the risk of PED transfer. A lot of the work that we did was only able to happen because of the Cargill Feed Safety Research Center there that's in our new feed mill here at K-State. And that facility is basically a 4-story BSL level 2 facility where we can go in and actually inoculate feed with PED virus, but be able to have it all contained and have a decontamination program in place where we can kill that virus and basically have zero risk after the study's done of having it accidentally transferred to any of the pigs around the area. If it was not for that facility that we have here at K-State, we would not have been able to do this research. It's the only facility like that in the world where this research can be done. And there's the equipment that's inside is very similar to that you'd find in a commercial mill, and so it has direct application then to what we can do out in the swine industry. We've done some other studies where we've looked at feed sequencing as a way to minimize the cross-contamination risk with PED if it's inoculated or if it's introduced into a feed mill. And indeed, feed sequencing through the feed mill is an important step to be able to prevent the contamination or the cross-contamination and be able to help better control or minimize the risk of PED-infected feed being transferred to the high-risk portions of our production systems, such as the sow feed or the first nursery pig feeds. The subsequent studies that we're doing right now are following up on potential feed additives or chemical treatments that can be used as ways to kill the virus while it's in the feed. We've really focused that area because of the strong grain science and feed science program that we have here at Kansas State University, as well as the strong swine nutrition program right here. So marrying both programs together, also working with partners in the K-State Vet Diagnostic Lab, the Iowa State University Vet Diagnostic Lab, we've been able to form a really strong team on PED infectivity and its association with feed and feed ingredients.
Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.